Now at 5, Missouri residents could soon see big changes coming to their utility bills. We'll explain. Plus, a Missouri bride reunites with a wedding photo after a tornado sends it 100 miles away. And Missouri Southern hosts an event featuring future healthcare advancement.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A bill with big implications for Missouri residents and their utility bills awaits the signature of Governor Mike Kehoe. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. The bill was delivered to the governor's office earlier this week, and now the clock is ticking on its future and the impact it could have on local utility bills. KOAM's Anthony Saviello explains.
Missouri lawmakers have passed a bill that would overhaul utilities in the state. As the demand for energy rises, this bill could push an increase in production. One thing that this bill would do is allow utility companies to charge customers for constructing new electric generating plants. However, according to the Consumers Council for Missouri, electric customers could pay an extra $1,100 per year if the bill is signed. According to Business Wire, Americans spend an average of $362 per month on utilities, up 3% from 2023. Missouri State Senator Joe Nicola says, quote, "I don't know anyone who knows everything about this bill, but we do know our rates are going to go up. I'm extremely concerned once again because in my district I have many elderly people on fixed incomes." A potential upside to this bill is that it would extend the time in which utilities cannot be disconnected during extreme weather. It would extend the time a utility company would not be allowed to disconnect a person's utilities from 24 to 72 hours after the National Weather Service predicts extreme heat or freezing temperatures. Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The governor has until April 9th to sign the bill before it expires. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, we do have a severe threat as we head into the weekend, so we got to keep our eyes on that. So a level 2 out of 5 across the region, especially north of I-44. This is Saturday night, so if you have plans Saturday, it's going to be fine. Timing 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Main threat is large hail, but we do have at least a low tornado threat, so we got to keep our eyes on that. But heading into the weekend, it's going to be nice. We're going to be near 80 once we get into the daytime hours tomorrow. Thunderstorms start to erupt about 9 p.m. in our western counties. The greater threat to get any rotating storms is going to be right out in here along that Kansas-Oklahoma state line, and then they're going to plow east. So we really need to watch this as it comes in tomorrow night, as we have that severe threat, which is going to be working through. Sunday's looking better, starting to cool down. We're going to go through the whole forecast here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. A Missouri bride has at least one of her wedding photos back. That's after a couple found it in their yard after wind blew it 100 miles away. Ahmad Lathan has their story.
I just think that God placed it here because he knew I could find the person it goes to.
Bonnie Hemmon is talking about this wedding photo. She and her husband Doug found it in their front yard the morning after more than a dozen tornadoes ripped through the heartland on March 14th.
Well, my heart sank for them because I knew if I had this in my hand, it meant that their house was probably destroyed.
The couple owns Hemmon Winery in Perry County. So Bonnie posted the photo to their business Facebook page.
Within an hour and a half, I had somebody comment, "Yes, that's my niece over on the right-hand side," and she contacted her, and then it just went a domino effect.
The social media post led her to the bride, Darby Russell, in Poplar Bluff.
I don't know what her situation is, if they lost everything, but she'll have one little piece, what she had before.
Bonnie took me outside to show me exactly where the picture landed.
So my husband found this laying just about right here as he drove by to go to the winery.
Hemmon made contact with one of the bridesmaids and will be mailing the photo to her for safekeeping. She tells me her family lost their home in a fire 15 years ago, so she knows what it's like to lose something this important.
Losing possessions, especially pictures of memories, was important to me, and so I wanted to be able to get this back to this beautiful bride if I could.
Proving there's a blessing in every situation, no matter how serious.
I feel like we're here to help each other, and that's what I wanted to do for them.
MSSU hosted the Will Coxon Innovation and Health Sciences Summit today, bringing together professionals and students to explore future healthcare advancements. Attendees participated in expert sessions that covered cutting-edge topics like 3D imaging in medicine, genomic insights into cancer research, immune system training for cancer prevention, and the growing role of artificial intelligence.
Important for students and professionals to attend this event because we want to be the leaders in healthcare here at Missouri Southern. So it's nice that they're able to see what is the future of healthcare by our speakers that are here today, talking about precision health and talking about 3D imaging.
The summit ended with tours of MSSU's state-of-the-art health and life sciences learning facilities. Freeman Health System employees gathered today to honor retiring president and CEO Paula Baker, celebrating her long-standing legacy. Now, Baker, who announced her retirement last year, will remain involved in the construction of 2 new hospitals in Southeast Kansas.
The timing was right. My son will be a senior in high school, and my life's pretty busy, so I really want to slow that down a little bit, have more time with Austin, be able to take him on some college visits, spend more time with my husband. There's so many family things that just kind of get pushed to the side when you're in a busy career.
Baker has led Freeman Health System since 2011. Her official last day as CEO is Monday. Harbor Village in Grove, Oklahoma turns into a time machine. Coming up, KOAM photojournalist Ty Parks takes us for a drone's eye view of this living history museum. But first, a popular DNA testing site shuts down. We'll take a look at how this will have an impact on people right here in the 4 states. 23andMe, a popular direct-to-consumer genetic testing company, filed for bankruptcy this week. Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach issued a consumer alert, warning Kansans of potential issues. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with a biologist from Pitt State to learn more.
I was 49% from England and Northwestern Europe.
Amanda Owen is a Joplin resident. She was very curious about her origins, like most Americans. That's why she considered genetic testing.
We actually tested the whole family, so it was pretty interesting. We all got our results back. I think it was around 2022.
Finding family is one of the many ways people use this service, but according to Chris Ward, an assistant professor at Pitt State, it can also help in many other ways.
Advice when it comes to risk factors, perhaps if they have certain codes that would predispose towards lipid risk, towards diabetes.
And it also has its bad effects if it gets into the wrong hands.
There's a gene that's associated with your risk for dementia. If somebody puts that in the wrong hands, well, that might end up playing into your ability to get long-term care coverage later.
And what about when you go to the doctor or any other place that already has your DNA? Can someone steal that info also?
It is a much higher burden in legal context to make sure that a physician or anybody acting in a medical capacity handles the DNA appropriately.
Though your DNA can be used from any lab, Dr. Ward says most companies don't have all the necessary equipment to do all the damages you may be thinking of. They would need more extensive equipment. But Owen says she's not worried.
The only thing that I've ever heard is, connecting crimes to your DNA, right? I haven't committed any crimes, so I'm not worried about that.
Reporting in Joplin, Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Well, Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach says Kansas residents should be aware of their rights and the protections afforded to their genetic data under the Kansas Consumer Protection Act and the Wayne Owen Act. Well, a little later, students at Mark Twain Elementary raised hundreds for St. Jude's and had a messy celebration.
And of course, a severe threat returns for the weekend. You're going to get all the details coming up next. Well, not a bad Friday for us today. Windy, a lot of clouds. The temperature's a little bit cooler than what we had Thursday, but still pretty good across the region. We could get a random sprinkle as we go through the evening hours. Looking outside, nice shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo, just outside Seneca, Missouri. If we can get that popped up. Maybe, maybe not, possibly. Can we get Indigo popped up? If not, we'll just move right on. But not too much is going on outside for us right now. We do have a couple little showers which have been popped up, mainly off to our south and trees. Can we get the wall popped up? Is that possible? Are we having some difficulties here? Okay, we'll just keep on going. Ah, there we go. Alrighty, so as we go through the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow, we're still going to have the winds. Southerly winds are going to be kicking in 20 upwards to 30. So the winds really aren't going to calm down on Saturday, but overall Saturday is going to be a pretty good day. All right, mid to upper 60s right now. Here's 7th and range line. A lot of clouds, but okay. 68 south winds at 25, but those gusts up to 32. If you're getting out this Friday evening on the big town, looks pretty good. Sliding back through the 60s. We have one wave passing to our south, showers, really no thunderstorms. This will kick out later on tonight. Then we'll watch our next storm system, which will start to affect us as we head into the weekend. So a level 2 out of 5 threat for severe weather tomorrow night. So if you have outdoor activities during the day, it's going to be fine. Timing 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. So a loud night tomorrow night. Main threat, large hail, but we do have at least a low tornado threat. So we want to watch that. Tonight's going to be fine. We get some clouds back in here by morning, so we're going to clear out, then they move back in. Clouds tomorrow morning. Sunshine breaks out in the afternoon. Temperatures near 80. As we get into the evening hours, we have a cold front sliding in and a dry line out to the west. You can see the wind shift line. Thunderstorms getting into our northwestern counties around 9 or 10 p.m. and then plowing east. Better chance for hail with these storms. I want to watch this cluster if it does develop along that Kansas-Oklahoma state line. Those would be the ones that would have the chance to rotate tomorrow night. So pushing through southeastern Kansas into northeastern Oklahoma, plowing east. Most of these storms out of here by 4 a.m. stabilizing the atmosphere just a little bit, but still hit and miss scattered thunderstorms as we go into the morning hours on Sunday and then Sunday afternoon into the lower 60s. Rainfall amounts, again, we got to see where that heavy band sets up, but the areas that do get the storms, I think you have the potential to get a half an inch upwards to an inch of rain, which we need the rain. 79 on Saturday, 69 on Sunday. Real quickly, I also want to watch Wednesday. Another front dropping in. This on Wednesday could give us a severe threat as well. So 2 dates to watch. Alert day on your Saturday, but it's actually Saturday night. 79 Saturday, morning thunderstorms on Sunday, 57 on Monday, 68 Tuesday, and then thunderstorm chances again Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Of course, we're in severe weather season. This would be our 3rd event. We've had 2 events that we've had severe thunderstorm warnings, but yeah, always during this time of year, just pay attention.
That's what we're here for.
Yep.
Right? Thanks, Doug. Well, there's a place in Grove, Oklahoma that takes visitors back in time. The Harbor Village on Grand Lake of the Cherokee revisits the bygone age of pioneer life. KOAM photojournalist Ty Parks takes us for a drone's eye visit to the park.
Harbor Village is an early settlement time period museum, outdoor museum that was started in 1968 by our founders, Harvey and Bernice Jones. People come out here, they can see a lot of history demonstrations going on. We have a lot of days, wood carvers here, people working on our looms, so a lot of demonstration and education. But they can also see early settlement time period antiquities and beautiful buildings that were designed for this time period. Really just a little town. Would have been during the 1800s to early 1900s. And then they can also see a beautiful view of the lake. It is so important because it's a part of not only Oklahoma history, but American history. And we want to be able to educate our future generations in the things that our forefathers went through. From everything from learning how to wash clothes during that time period to how they lit their homes with candles that they dipped themselves, clothes that they made themselves. So we want people to especially our next generations, to understand what they went through to give us a better life. That kids can come here and learn and not just be learning in a classroom.
Well, with March Madness underway, the focus may be on men's basketball, but the women's bracket is just as significant. Coming up, we highlight a company that's on a mission to stand against gender bias in sports and make sure female athletes are both empowered and recognized. March is Women's History Month, a time to celebrate women and the contributions they've made to society. Now, one company is on a mission to stand against gender bias in sports and make sure female athletes are empowered and recognized. CBS's Danya Bacchus introduces us to the woman behind the clothing brand Playa Society.
Esther Wallace took a chance on making emerging women's sports fashion forward.
It was really just me having my experiences as a woman in sports, as a female athlete, and trying to problem solve and fill the void of the brand that was missing.
She launched Playa Society in 2018, streetwear that promotes representation in women's sports, with her first female athlete t-shirt taking a stand against gender bias.
In a space where everybody was saying it wasn't worth the time and the effort to celebrate women in sports, I decided to double down and do the most and give more time and more effort.
Wallace weaves culture and storytelling into her hand-sketched designs, putting the spotlight on women with sports merch featuring their faces, teams, and stats.
I always say someone had to be the first.
WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops is collaborating with Playa Society and Wallace.
Everything about what she does, everything about what she represents and what she stands for are things that I align with.
As one of the first players signed to the WNBA and a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, Swoop says she's been waiting for a brand that celebrates female athletes.
These women deserve to be respected. These women deserve to be honored. These women deserve the same opportunities as our male counterparts.
And that's what Wallace is committed to doing, parlaying Playa Society partnerships with the WNBA and NCAA.
It's about creating something that's timeless, that people are going to connect to.
A connection she hopes will continue to push women and the sports they play to the forefront. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Playa Society is launching a McDonald's All-American collection at the Games in Brooklyn on April 1st. We'll be right back after this. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. There are more millennial and Gen Z leaders in Washington than ever before. We're going to take a look at this next generation of American politics. Plus, the Indian Students Association at PSU hosts the Festival of Colors. And vendors from Northeast Oklahoma and Southeast Kansas gather in Coffeyville this weekend for the Interstate Farm and Home Show. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, it wasn't Nickelodeon green, but a couple of teachers at Mark Twain Elementary in Carthage experienced their own celebrity slime moment today. It was all part of the fun for the school's annual fundraiser for St. Jude called Penny Wars. The students were given a goal to raise $350 with the reward of sliming one teacher, and the kids raised above and beyond that amount, $410, meaning 2 teachers will now have to shower.
And I'm a big fan of St. Jude, so of course, money well raised.
Yeah, definitely. Final check of the weather?
Yeah, the weekend, tomorrow's going to be really nice. We're going to have temperatures near 80 degrees. Now, I made it an alert day because we have a severe threat, but it's tomorrow night. Main timing is 9 p.m. till about 3 a.m. 69 on Sunday with some morning storms.
Well, thank you for watching. And due to coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, we will not have a 6 o'clock newscast again this evening. And our 10 p.m. news will run late tonight, and we hope to see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.